One of the most controversial movies of 2023 was released just this week, and it might actually be one of the best movies of the year. Let's talk about that. Hey guys, I'm Karl. Welcome to my movie film show. Feel free to subscribe down below if you would like to, but we're here today to talk about The Flash. As I mentioned, one of the most controversial movies of the year because of the lead man. Before we actually get into the review, I just want to fully state, I don't think Ezra Miller should be in this movie. I think he's a piece of shit. All of the accusations against him are horrendous. He shouldn't be in the movie, but for some reason the movie studio decided to keep him in the movie. Now, I do think they've laid the foundations to take him out of future movies. We'll talk about that in the spoiler review that's going to come out in a few days. But the fact of the matter is, he's in the movie, and the movie's made. The movie's out there. And like I said to someone who wasn't happy with me even seeing the movie, which is kind of odd, movies like this are not a one-person show. And while I don't think Ezra Miller should be in this movie, he's not the only person that worked on this movie. Hundreds, if not thousands, of other people, hard-working people like editors and special effects artists and sound designers, costume designers, set designers, you can keep listing, even catering on the project, they all worked on this project and they put blood, sweat and tears and hard work, time of their lives into it, and they made a damn good movie in the end of the day, regardless of who's in it. Their work shouldn't be disrespected, their livelihood shouldn't be downgraded because of one asshole left in the movie. As I say, he shouldn't be in the movie, and that's why you're not going to hear me talk about Ezra Miller much in this review at all. I'm going to focus on the movie in itself, the characters, and Michael Keaton being Batman, which is pretty damn cool. So with that being said, that out of the way, let's jump into the review. So one of the things I said at the start is it might be one of the best movies of the year, and that's definitely the case. The Flash movie, I was expecting it to be crap, but this is genuinely one of the best superhero movies I've ever watched. Now there is a lot of what people call fan service in it, but I just think that's nostalgia stuff that's fantastic. There's a lot of surprises in there which completely caught me off guard, a couple of which even left me gobsmacked. Some things in this movie that you just will not see coming if you had no hints. Now I was lucky enough to stay away from a lot of trailers and things. One thing was spoiled for me earlier in the week, but it didn't take away from any of the surprises in the movie. The story within the movie is interesting. You've got the Flash trying to go back in time to save his mother and the consequences of changing time. Time travel movies are something I've stated on the channel before that a lot of people just get wrong. There's always a lot of mistakes, and this movie is very conscious of that, and they tried to explain their time travel theories and the whole spaghetti thing. Now, of course, everybody knew, or I think everybody knows going into this movie that Michael Keaton is back as Batman. I'm Batman. Might be a spoiler, maybe I should have put that in the spoiler review, but it was all over the trailers. And of course it was, because they needed Michael Keaton being back as Batman in the trailers to get people in the movie theater, because as I said, that controversial actor that we're not going to talk about. Now going into it, I thought, okay, maybe Michael Keaton's going to be back in one or two scenes. He's actually fairly prominent in the movie. And for anyone who loved those Michael Keaton Batman movies, he's back as Batman. And you really get that nostalgia hit. It's not just Michael Keaton's back as Batman, the Batmobile is back, music is similar, and even the Batman Danny Elfman version of Batman's song is back in it. And we'll deep dive further into that in the spoiler review, which should be coming out on Wednesday, I believe. Keep your eyes peeled for that one. Then you've got Supergirl in there as well, which is another reveal they left in the trailer, which could be fantastic if they just left it in the movie. But it was in the trailers early on. It was very prominent that Karl is in this movie. Even Michael Shannon is back as Zod, and Michael Shannon is just a fantastic actor in all his roles. That part was all fantastic. Now there is parts in this movie where the CGI is getting a lot of flack because it's not great, as with a lot of superhero movies lately. But they kind of get away with it in this movie because it's a Flash movie, and Flash is traveling through time. He's running through time. He's in his own little bubble, and everything outside it is weird CGI, but it kind of makes sense. The director even said it's supposed to look like that because you're seeing it from Flash's perspective, where everybody's molecules are slowing down, and therefore they look kind of funky. I believe he said funky as well. Definitely said that, which makes sense. Could be called a cop-out, but it kind of makes sense. The pacing of this movie blew me away. This is a movie I went into the movie theater not expecting too much of the movie, and even the opening of the movie, the opening scene of the movie, there's a lot of cheesy jokes, and I said, okay, here we go. It's gonna be a cheese-filled, terrible movie. But as the movie went along, I didn't even notice the time going by. I got completely lost in the movie. The movie just enveloped my attention, and before I knew it, we were in the final battle. The movie is 2.5 hours long, and honestly, it felt like it was 30-40 minutes. Flew by. It flashed by, I should say. That was awful. There's some great jokes in there, some great storytelling, some great visuals, some dodgy visuals, and Batman's back.
Let's get nuts.
I watched some really good movies recently. I recently talked about Spider-Man and Transformers. I really enjoyed them recently. But this movie, the Flash movie, I've got to say is perhaps the most enjoyable movie of the year for me personally. If you've loved any DC project down the years, you're going to love this movie because it's got so much in it. Trying really hard not to give away any spoilers. Keep that for the spoiler review. But ultimately, we get down to a rating out of 10 as always here on Karl's Movie Film Show, or whatever movie we're talking about. Today we're talking about The Flash, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. As I said, it's one of the best movies I've watched all year. I absolutely loved the movie in itself, and I'd highly recommend checking it out. Another video I'd recommend checking out is this video over here, or that video over there, and I'll catch you in the next video.